So we're talking about whether our soul learns. First of all, we don't even know, I feel like, what our soul is, right? We don't even know what a soul is, do we? Like, how can we know how something is when we don't know the nature of that thing? If we even have a soul. Do we even have a soul? I don't even know. I could say I do by the way I feel, but there's no way that I could prove it, you know? How do we prove that we have a soul? And I feel like once we could prove that we have a soul, then we could maybe talk more about whether it learns or it doesn't. I don't know. Because there's other things, guys, like there's a lot of stuff even in science and math and even physics where we don't know how things are by their nature, but we know them through their effects, you know? Like we like physicists and chemists, they still don't know what an atom looks like, but because of the experiments they've done, they've been able to know that there is such a thing as atoms with neutrons and protons and electrons by the experiments where they shoot a laser beam and seeing how the effects of that laser beam is then disseminated, you know, the waves or whatever, the what do you call them, like just the alpha do you know what I'm talking about, the alpha rays or gamma rays? They're sort of like dispersed, and they know, oh, you know, this only could happen if there was a negative charge and a positive charge. So chemists, we put our faith that there is such a thing as atoms, and also we've put our faith in the way they look like. They look like, you know, spherical balls on each other, which makes up the neutrons and the protons, and then the electrons is very random. They don't, you know, sometimes we don't even know whether the electron is here or there. We can never predict where the next electron is going to be. Like, it's like they first called it a wave, now they're calling it a cloud. Do you know what I mean? Because it's uncertain. But no matter what, we still talk about atoms as if we are sure what it is. You know what I mean? And I think our souls maybe are similar in that sense, you know? It's just something that how we've come to know of them, I would say, is because of the effects. You know, the effects that we experience from our soul. And I don't know what those effects are. We all have our own, you know, unique stories of times that we felt awe and wonder and maybe even a spiritual transformation. I don't know. Those things are the effects, I think, of our soul.
I think the key way for me that we know that there's a soul is that first we've had to demonstrate, at least to ourselves, that the revelation of Baha'u'llah is the Word of God. And then in the Word of God it says that we have a soul. So therefore we have a soul.
Yes, that's one way to say it. That's definitely one way to say it. What are you thinking, Kaylee? Any thoughts? No pressure. So we were just talking about souls.
Yeah, I've been curious about the relationship or the difference between soul and spirit, and then the roles of the mind, heart, and spirit in understanding our world around us. Because I think soul and spirit are like two concepts that we don't understand a lot about, but sometimes things like that like overlap. I don't know.
I see.